Your Excellency William Ruto, President of the Republic and Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces, all protocols observed. Today is one of my proudest moments since I left law school nearly 30 years ago. Your Excellency, we are gathered here at your official residence as head of state to reflect on the journey we have traveled with one another as a country, as a nation. And I think, Mr. President, because my speech will not be more than 3 minutes, allow me to just make a small contribution of what I make of this gathering and the subject matter. I have listened to my sister, the chair of the National Commission on Human Rights, and other speakers who have spoken before me. And I think the National Commission on Human Rights has helped us clarify why we are here and why we are not here. The reason we are here and the reason which is not what brings us here. Your Excellency, justice involves so many things, including retribution, where we punish people who do certain things by locking them up, and in many jurisdictions, some are even killed, depending on the crimes they have committed. And that is justice. It is retributive justice. It is retribution. But there is also another facet of justice, which is restorative, where you restore relationships between the offender and the victim of offenses. It is my humble submission, Your Excellency, we are gathered here this morning to advance the agenda of our country more in the area of restorative justice and repairing relationships among ourselves. That's why we are here. Nothing prevents the criminal law justice system to continue with what it has been doing. All what you are saying is that there is another facet of justice that has stalled and has never been operationalized. Restorative justice, and it is more powerful sometimes and has greater effects and a bigger return on investment than retribution. Your Excellency, therefore, today we are not talking compensation. We are talking reparation, because we cannot compensate death. I mean, it's unimaginable. But we are also looking at ourselves and saying, we have hurt one another. Law enforcement agencies, ourselves as citizens, across board. But we are also saying we have realized there are gaps in our legal system which we must fill. Because Article 37 is very wide. The right to assemble, the right to demonstrate, the right to picket, the right to petition authorities. We are just concentrating on the demonstration part. There is the right to assemble without demonstrating. But there is also the right to picket and the right to petition. So this is the problematic part. The most problematic part on this right on Article 37 has been the demonstration part, and has been already articulated by the Chief Justice, my Lady Justice Comey. Even in that 1 out of 4, the demonstration part of that right, because the right is in 4 parts, we have had numerous cases of exemplary and successful demonstrations, peaceful and constitutional, by various people, professionals, trade unions, and all manner of people advancing certain causes. The challenge in that demonstration, right, has been political demonstration. That is where the problem is. So let us not generalize that provision or generalize even the whole activity of demonstration. But we're also saying, Your Excellency, we must settle accounts. We must reconcile with one another. We must repair. And that's why some form of reparations are token here, are sorry here. And this is a very complex space we have ventured into, the space of transitional justice. Very complex, and many countries do not want to address this issue. Many democracies today who have been independent for over 200 years have still pending issues around restorative justice. So we have started a journey. I want to agree with those who have advanced that position. It's going to take centuries, but there is always a starting point, and I'm very proud, Your Excellency, to be your deputy at a time when you are the president of Kenya who has faced this issue head on. Your Excellency, two last quick things. One is to say that that legal thing, that legal discussion must balance crime and punishment, even as we talk about reparation. I say so because I know Speaker Kingi talked about the principle of nulla criminal sine lege, which is there is no crime without law. But likewise, there is nulla poena sine lege, that there is no punishment without law. And the two must be proportionate. The crime, the gravity, and the gravity of punishment must be balanced if we have to resolve and get the deterrence that we require. Finally, Your Excellency, the President, I look forward to a day where in this country, a political leader of whatever stature, character, and opinion will organize what in their view is a legitimate demonstration, make sure that they control their supporters and hold both their supporters and the leaders, hold each other accountable for the process, and then be assisted by the police to carry out the demonstrations and say what they don't like and go home in the evening. That is the dream of this country. The millions of Kenyans who have nothing to do with politics. In fact, the Chief Justice has I know she has understated our numbers. We are not 1,000. We are 1,800 or thereabout. But the consequence is the same. 2,000 people cannot frustrate 55 million Kenyans who do not earn their living from politics, like us. And we must be called to order, and we must make sure that we don't make this country dangerous for the 55 million Kenyans that do not earn a living from politics. With those many